Thank you, Governor, for these informations. For sure, marami ipapalo up ang ating mga kasama sa media. Let's start from the East, Ina o PLA.
Thank you po, Ma'am Vicky. Good afternoon po, Gov, and to our panelists. Gov, nakita po natin na hanggang gabi po yung pagbabantayan, pag-monitor natin, especially on the search and rescue operations. Have we engaged other government agencies po to pakitulong na rin po sa search and rescue operations, especially po sa missing person po sa Bani?
Yeah, well, I think the people who are here are doing the best that they can, and in fact that's why we commend and thank them. But at the same time, we know na may mga kulang pa in terms of personnel and also in terms of equipment or materials. Actually, it's a bit embarrassing, but I don't know. You guys probably heard already. Our rubber boat that was used last night, right? Yesterday afternoon, yeah. For the family in Bangi that's informally residing in the riverbed. Was actually located this afternoon in Cagayan.
What part?
So,
What part in Cagayan po?
I don't know, but Claveria. Yeah. Actually, yun nag-send sa akin. I mean, what to do but laugh, diba? Nag-send sa akin si Mayor Eddie ng Facebook post. Parang it's a Claveria group na I guess they're all from there, including Mayor Eddie originally, and then ito yung caption, found rubber boat, may makina pa. So this is what he sent me today at about lunchtime, and he said, "Hi Gov, may nawawala pa tayo rubber boat."
It's already in the session of the Philippine Coast Guard legislation, sir.
Right.
We will transport it as soon as the function itself.
Yeah, so that's what we're finding is still a challenge, you know, like for example, the number of rubber boats, the number of teams that are capacitated. Honestly, even like using technology or GPS to locate where these people may be. Like our fishermen in Lawag, for example, obviously it's a guessing game, but there should be some science to search and rescue and to identifying or locating where they may be based on the tide and based on the time and based on the location. So that's what I find is still a struggle for all of us. So hoping we can capacitate, for example, yung mga air, ano tawag? Yung mga air, yung mga choppers, all of the air assets that we don't have within reach or within speed. No, it should. We have to call up from the region or galing from Manila. So these are challenges that we still face now. For example, if we need a chopper for search and rescue, we don't just have one, at our disposal. For example, the missing person in Bangi, I think it would help. Obviously, if we had a chopper, you could cover more ground. So these things are still lacking, and it's a reminder also that I told Marcel yesterday that we should have a backup to every item that we need, di ba? Parang PTRMO, Marcel's office, has a backup ambulance to the ambulance, di ba? Yesterday we lost our rubber boat, and then biglang we had no rubber boat, di ba? So, we need a backup rubber boat to our rubber boat, just like our ambulance, right? Because not that we didn't have other boats, we had other boats, kaya lang hindi ideal sa conditions. No? So, these are grim reminders that we need to really invest and also cooperate with NGAs, hopefully, so we can all be better prepared.
Okay, Nick, it's your turn.
Yes, thank you, Ma'am. Good afternoon po po. Abot kanina umaga, naprobada po ng saruniyang panalagputan ang isang resolution to declare Ilocos Norte under state of calamity. Tungkol po dito po, napirmahan na po ba natin yung resolution po?
No, I haven't signed it yet. It hasn't reached me. I was catching up on paperwork this morning. Last night we were still out late. But that's obviously to enable LGUs para gamitin yung 5% nila. So, QRF. So it basically enables all of the LGUs to access the 5% quick response fund. So obviously, as you can see, we knew naman that today the storm has passed already. But yeah, just for financial purposes, para wala nang masabi na we're not under a state of calamity, we can't use it. And then with regard to the cancellation of classes, even though we knew na the storm was going to pass last night, well, it was projected to pass yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, kaya nang medyo natagalan. It slowed down as it exited, and it took a while, no? Madaling araw, kanina, it was still raining. But obviously the schools needed time and a day to assess damages and to prepare, since yesterday was a holiday.
Okay, Lord.
Thank you, Ma'am Vicky. Good afternoon po, Governor. My question is for the Agriculture Office. How is the process of ensuring our products, especially harvest time, maraming nasisira dahil sa baha, bagyo, usually?
Good afternoon po, and sa inyo pong lahat. So, dun po sa mga damage po natin, sir. So, most of our farmers po naman ay naka-insure, and then yung mga hindi naman po, sir, ay magkakaroon po tayo ng mga rehabilitation inputs para po mapalitan kung ano naman po yung mga nasira nilang tanim. So, in place po naman po yung mga ating rehabilitation.
So, halimbawa yung mga tomato season na ngayon umulan yung kamatis. So, are they included kahit sa NFC din sila nagbibigay ng mga or other output or other market of tomato products?
Yun po sa tomato po, sir, bali nasa karamihan po ng ating mga tomato ngayon nasa vegetative stage, mga 3 weeks lang po, sir. So, talagang prone po sila sa matinding ulan at saka malakas na hangin. So, yun po, sir, pwede natin palitan yung mga nasira in terms of mga seeds or fertilizers, pesticides po para makapagtanim po.
Thank you, Rod. Okay, Lani? Ay, Rod pala. Ay, Ronald.
Okay, thank you, Vicky, and good afternoon to everyone. So, kay Engineer Luciano Domingo. Sir, bakit pa kabuklano din kita yung infra-project sa probinsya na nadadaan, sir? Kaya nag-iarami ng kayo doon na matarimang isip.
Ano po? Diba ang ating grupo po ay nagbabalik sila ngayon, umiikot dito sa mga provincial road natin. At sa regarding naman sa budget, sinasubmit natin kay Go. Tapos, hinahanapan dito sa NFC, hinahanapan nila kung saan tayo po ng mga budget. At tapos, pag-approve na lahat, i-implement na po natin.
Yung sa Tamdagan, sir, under provincial road valuation sa Tamdagan.
Yes po, yung bridge, under provincial road po yun, ang tawag po sa provincial road na yun ay Bintak Tamdagan Tungal Provincial Road. Ang nasira lang po doon ay yung may scar po sa ilalim ng semento natin, natanggal yung sa lalim. Kaya medyo din naman siya pamahalan kasi mga ano lang yun, no? Palitan lang natin yung semento sa taas, tapos tambakan natin ng mga papi. Gagasto lang siguro pa yung mga 200,000 po. Doon po sa Adams yung pangmalaki kasi yung bridge approach ko talaga natanggal mga almost 30 meters. Tapos iba pa yung kalsada natin na damage almost 50 meters. Kaya doon po talaga yung pinakamalaking damage ko ng probinsya ng natin.
Okay, thank you.
Sige, Rachel.
Yes, good afternoon po. Kay Engineer Baknat po, ma'am, good afternoon po. Ma'am, may coordination na po ba tayo sa Department of Agriculture regarding po sa mga programs nila na pwedeng i-avail po ng ating mga affected farmers, especially po sa survival and recovery assistance po, aside po yung mga nakahanda ng tulong from the provincial government po.
As of now po, ma'am, we're still on the consolidation of our damage report kasi progress po lang po ito. Pero once na na-consolidate na natin po lahat ng mga damages and then nakagawa po tayo ng mga rehabilitation plan. So, pwede po natin i-submit po yung sa DA for the endorsement of our governor para po makakuha po tayo ng mga additional assistance from them aside from yung mga nakaposition na dito sa PGI.
Okay, Anthony and then Rani.
Okay, para lang kay Engineer. Ma'am, manong nga porsyento iti nakagapas na aning pagay latan manong kayo dito ay dami dyan silata na flowering stage din.
When it comes to yung mga harvest na po, sir, almost nasa 90% na po siguro, sir, yung mga nauna po kasi nagtanim, no? So, karamihan po yung mga damage po natin ngayon ay nasa 5,000 hectares po. Ito po yung mga flowering at saka nasa harvestable na po. Kasi ito po yung mga munisipyo na nahuling nagtanim kasi nag-depend lang sila sa ulan. So, yung stages ng kanilang crops ay nasa flowering and yung soft dough, yung green pa yung bunga niya. So, ito po yung mga stages ng rice crop na very prone to yung malakas na ulan at saka hangin po. Kaya marami po tayong damages on palay na siya yung pinakamalaki among sa ating mga commodities po. Yung masila.
So, awan ti remedy na ito'y nag-request ka talaga na adanting flowering stage na talaga na pwede dito.
Nagiging flowering stage, sir, no talaga napig sa kianin, no di bunga na nagbaling na brown or nanisip. Talaga naawan iti remedyo na ito yun, sir. Pero di harvestable nga, nagdugpus lang yung hangot nga na soak iti water. Iti naikatamot ng jidalong na. So, ada pa lang iti possibility na mabalik nga ma-harvest kasi hangot na na-upran iso na. So, okay.
Good afternoon. This is a question directed to our good provincial engineer, Engineer Lucy. Sir, with regards to our projects in in the construction of buildings, roads, and bridges. May we know if we have in place flood risk management strategies, especially yung mga bago natin itinatayo?
Ano po? Regarding sa flood risk po, talagang yung mga pinapakain natin, yung mga building natin ay kasiliyan na po para sa atin. Diba, nakikiagap naman po tayo sa change, climate change. At yung mga pati kalsada natin po at saka mga bridge, meron po, diba, sumusunod po tayo sa mga design na resilient lahat na po yung mga building natin, kalsada at saka bridge.
How about engineering solutions for wide-scale problem of flooding? Do we have?
So para lahat po pa tayong solution na pag-usapan. Pero lahat po namin pinag-attendan ng seminars, yun po ang talagang tinatapay natin yung mga flood solution. Pero po tayong example dito po sa nangyari po dito sa Kawakan. Meron pa akong nag-attend pa ako ng meeting doon sa DPWHB with Bureau of Equipment. Ito po ay yung magdadala sila sana ng ano dito, yung tinatawag nila amphibious excavator. Tanggalin po sana lahat ng mga water lily muna bago po sila mag-dredge. Kaya lang, ang pinag-uusapan po natin, dadalhin sana yung machine, pero di ko pa nakaalam ito kasi wala pang exact. Next week pa sana darating yung machine. Kasi wala kasing exact date, kaya di ko magsabi-sabi kay God na kay darating na machine. Kaya naunahan tayo ng bagyo, yan po, nabaraton sa Kawakan. Pero tumawag na naman po kanina yung taga-DOE. Ina-assume na po na parang darating po next week yung machine. Amphibious excavator po yung tawag doon.
Sir, I'm asking you this, hindi na tayo pupunta sa Kawakan. Dito sa capital po mismo, especially ito sa CMO basement, if you have been there, it's been a year na flooded po ang basement. Any solution to that?
Di ba, meron na po kami, natagal na po kami kasi pasensya na po, nag-1 year talaga kasi. Kasi alam niyo naman, mahirap naman magpatumanap ng budget. Kasi meron na po kaming ginagawa. Di ba, yung wall po ng bintana natin, tinataas na natin, binubukusan na. At saka may palang na po palabas. Kaya lang, dinamadagan namin yung kontraktor, kaya lang, risky naman po pag pinagawa natin sa kontraktor ng walang kontrata. Kaya doon po kami natagalan, konti. Kaya ngayon, na namin, ginagawa na po yung kasi yung basement. Naunahan lang tayo ng bagyo ng 1 week.
Thank you, Engineer. Here's another question to our good governor. Sir, what's your assessment on the disaster response recently? Kasi madami po tayong mga rescue. Ranging from 1 to 10, 10 as the highest. Ano po yung rating po natin, sir?
Sorry, regarding the rescue ops, disaster response, which one?
Lahat po, sir. Particular yun po sa mga rescue natin, rescue ops.
Well, in terms of the severe response is not the right word, no? Kasi it happens before it arrives, diba? So it's not really just reactive, but proactive. You know, one thing we still struggle with is honestly getting people to safe areas. So that's one of our struggles. And sa totoo lang, I don't know if it's kulang na IEC or warning or advisory. I don't think it's that anymore. Kasi we really try. And then we tell the mayors, we tell the resiliency officers, the capitans. Everyone knows, but as you all know, sometimes there are still people who insist. And that leads to unfortunate incidents, diba? For example, I recall yesterday Marcel said na may mga mangingisda na lumabas pa, you know, in the midst of typhoon. So, to be honest, even last night sa Tonggi, yung apat na nandun, well, they shouldn't have been there, di ba? Nasa riverbed mismo. So, that's the controllable part, di ba? Parang that's the controllable aspect na, in my opinion, kulang pa. I don't know what you want to call it, pasaway, you know, lack of discipline, you know, but ultimately it's also our responsibility, so we don't just, you know, disown the blame or the responsibility, diba? I mean, we still have to keep pushing and keep informing people and warning them, and if need be, force them to evacuate, diba? Because it's on us. So we have to get better in that sense. But I also hope our Kakaibigan cooperate, because we can only do so much. In terms of, you know, when it hit, I mean, you know, the people who I'm with, I mean, I'm not going to give them anything less than 10, you know, they've all lost sleep and lost weight, except in their eye bags, baka nag-gain ng konti. You know, so I think everyone did as best they could. Yun nga lang, looking forward, maybe some of the systems can be improved a little bit, or mas organized, mas mabilis, but you know, for the most part, you know, our systems are in place naman. Maybe it's a case of fine-tuning a little bit, and making sure, for example, that it's already forceful, or imposed upon people na they have to leave the river side, for example. They have to relocate. Or yun nga, yung mga fishermen natin palagi, they cannot go out anymore. Maghanap na nila. So I think those are areas where we can improve.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Ernie.
Good afternoon. Sunod-sunod ko na parang inapupulo na naman. Sir, sabi ng Panalawigyan, passed a resolution this morning asking PRC and National Electrification Administration to investigate Ilocos Norte Cooperative dahil sa mataas na singil ng kuryente. Any comment po ba?
Yeah, they actually invited INEC, I think a few months ago, right, here to the SP Hall, to question them, and now they passed the resolution, obviously. To be honest, I was part of that, so you know, it was a group effort, and I think that will allow us to make necessary changes if need be in the future, because that is a formal resolution, obviously, that the SP has acted, and you know, kumbaga, it's open the issue formally and legally at this level, so that can be used moving forward.
So wala po sinabi ng management at that board na kung kailan bababa ang singil ng software?
Well, this month tumaas na konti, very slight, but still tumaas nonetheless, which is honestly unacceptable. Next month, we're looking forward to decrease but hindi pa natin masabi. But I'm working with them to simulate and to project already kung magkano kuryente natin next month. And I, like all of you, have told them that, you know, it needs to decrease. And when I say decrease, I don't just mean centavos or, you know, 0.01, whatever. I mean, yeah. But, you know, with that said, I'm sure, alam nyo na this is a global crisis. You know, Europe has an energy crisis, obviously the Ukraine conflict, also the price of coal, as I mentioned to you. But sa akin lang, it's no excuse, no? INEC must be better. And we will make sure that they will be. As I've said, no, in the past, otherwise, you know, we'll have to make changes. So it's a weird relationship, honestly, because I mean, I take responsibility for it because ultimately it's our co-op. But in a sense, it's not our co-op or my co-op. I have nothing to do with it. I mean, I'm not part of INEC at all. And neither is INEC answerable to me, right? INEC is answerable to NEA, diba? So it's a weird, honestly, it's a weird relationship. And I don't want to, shift blame, because as I said, I have to own up to it. You know, we can do better, basically. But we're pushing as hard as we can, and you know, it's already been brought to the powers that be. Manila for possible intervention and improvement.
Thank you, bro. My next question. Engineer Bagnan. Ma'am, because itihan siguro na pagpakalaan mo dito ang dami kitarakan. Itinabig sa natulo, pagbalang sa ako. At itinayaman nga dinwen. Adalah di pagkaamon kami ito Sinagot Lahat dito ket naka-insure.
Actually, ma'am, concern namin ni Provincial Veterinary Office, ma'am, large staff. So, Agriculture Office, crops and fisheries.
Okay, last two questions. Bernard.
Good afternoon, Doc. Earlier we covered Senator Francis Filipino with you, and he mentioned about PAG-ASA Center here in Ilocos Norte. Do you agree that we should have our own PAG-ASA Center to be more advanced to combat weather disturbances here in Ilocos Norte?
Yeah, I think they have like a field office, yeah. They have a field office naman here. We know Cynthia is here. She's become our text mate of late because I really see her. So, yeah, of course we welcome any advancements, any expansion of PAG-ASA offices. Yeah, I mean, I also think, I don't know, sa akin lang, I think PAG-ASA gets a bad name sometimes. Parang everyone blames PAG-ASA, the typhoon intensifies, but like, Siyempre, it's not, you know, can't predict it completely, right? I mean, to be honest, in my experience, they're pretty good. For example, Neneng, they predicted, I think that it would be, initially they said signal 2 at most, diba? Pero nag-intensify nga at umabot sa 3, but very briefly, right? So, I mean, for the most part, I think they're doing their job. So I don't think there's a shortcoming when it comes to pag-asa. So we thank Cynthia and we thank the OSD for helping also.
On that case, Doc, can we add more advanced equipment here in our province, most especially at the resilience office?
Well, in terms of like, ang tawag ng mga predicting and meteorological, whatever, all the scientific stuff. That's not really our mandate, or that's not our expertise. So I know Marcel obviously has some equipment in the CBRMO, but in terms of really getting the information and forecasts and predictions, yeah, that's not part of your mandate.
Okay. Rolly?
Ron,
Hello, good afternoon to all. Most especially to our governor. Sir, this is an information, not a question, but in a way, you could give your statement on this. First is about the magandang balita, about what you have undertaken over the sentiments of the people regarding the perennial problem about high cost of electricity in the province. This is a good magandang balita in a way. The people have, as if they are enlightened of your statement, when you stated that if there is no change for a period of 2 months, you will be acting in a drastic manner for a possible change within INEC, as if they were unburdened of that statement by yours. And in that manner, maybe know what is now the update in your dialogue with INEC management, including the board. And unfortunately, in that situation, ito na po malungkot na balita because the biggest mall in the province, accordingly, is in the brink of, as if thinking of closing down because of high cost of electricity. Based on their computation, parang nalulugi po na sila, sir. Etong Robinson's mall. Thank you, sir.
I haven't heard that news happened yet. I don't think Robinson's is closing down. I hope not. Yeah, no, as mentioned, there is a timeline for me, and it's come to that point that we're at the boiling point already, or the tipping point in terms of our cost of electricity. We're in. I think I was working very closely with INEC starting June or July, but dun medyo nag-spike. So, it's been what, June, July, yeah. Over 4 months. So, obviously, as you mentioned, we're fighting global and real challenges. But, as you said, INEC should be, must be, and will be better. And it's contingent on me and PGIN and, to be honest, my family to make sure that cost of electricity is affordable here. So, for example, not only Robinsons but also SM can continue their opening and not be too scared to open in Ilocos Norte. Because honestly, even if we're talking about inviting business, I honestly think that's the only thing that holds us back, is our cost of electricity. Everything else, I think, basically, we pass, or we pass with flying colors. I mean, well, it's electricity and reception or signal. Yun yung dalawang medyo we really have to work on. But everything else in terms of hard infra, peace and order, literacy, workforce. We're quite strong, I would say.
Okay, maraming salamat, Governor. Wala nang questions pa. So, your closing message, ako, Governor.
Kayo, do you have any announcements or any last reminders?
Okay, unahin natin si Ako PDRRMO, si Sir Marcel.
Parang wala naman yata. Ano ba?
Kasi, we'd just like to remind our Pilipians to adhere to the warnings and advisories of our authorities to secure our lives and properties, especially our livestock and all others that will be affected during crisis. That will do. Thank you.
Ano naman na, Sir, may dalawang bagyo na naman yata na papasok on this next week.
That's the forecast, but again, we hope it will not become a typhoon or a storm. But we will keep monitoring and update our progress rate if there are changes to the forecast that Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Marcel. Ako, Provincial Engineer.
Hello ma'am, patulong po sana kami sa dissemination ng sa mga natin kung may problema po tayo sa mga kalsada natin, pwede ko nyo kaming tawagan o tulungan na ipaabot sa amin yung mga problema ng mga kababayan natin po. Yung i-ano na yan po sa amin yung mga problema nila.
Thank you po. Engineer Bachman po sa Provincial Agriculture Office.
To all our farmers po and fisher folks, kung nasiraan po kayo, na-damage po kayo sa nagdaang bagyo, just reach out po sa ating mga cities and municipal agriculture offices para po masali po ang ating mga crops na nasira and our names po para ma-include po sila kung magbibigay po tayo in case ng mga rehabilitation efforts po. Salamat po.
Yes, go.
Yeah, I think we can use the agree dito hotline. Also a reminder, this is a good reminder to make sure that our crops are insured, our livestock is insured. So at least may mga payouts. Also just want to make a clarificatory statement sa walang pasok. Because sometimes I peek at the comments on Facebook and then may nakita akong parang sabi waterproof talaga mga college students, which is funny. So good joke, but yeah. So basically, as you guys know, DepEd got stricter, diba? So any signal, kahit signal 1, canceled na. All primary and secondary. However, CHED remained the same. As you know, CHED is independent of DepEd, and CHED handles tertiary or colleges and universities. And sabi ng CHED, only under Signal 3 will there be an automatic suspension of tertiary or college and university classes. So, well, I take my cue from them, diba? So like today, we didn't cancel tertiary, and we left it to the heads of the colleges and universities who can still cancel classes. So it does not need to be me to cancel classes. So speaking to all of our beloved tertiary students, college and uni students, I hope you can blame your principal or your president and not only blame me kung may pasok po kayo. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the other part of that is, you know, our tertiary students are a bit older, and they're adults already. But I agree. Well, I disagree. Hindi kayo waterproof, and we care about you and your life, I promise. But yeah, yun lang. Siguro on that note, I'll also say that classes are not canceled tomorrow. Sorry sa lahat ng mga estudyante may pasok. And yeah, well, we I guess in other news, we submitted our budget to SP today. So we'll be doing some final revisions on the budget since it's budget season here as well as in the national government. And ano pa ba? What's upcoming? I didn't, well, sabi niya 2 typhoons, I hope not. Anything coming up? Wala naman yata. Oh, Halloween! Right. Nalabas na yung pinabas na yung Semana at Arya na scheduled, diba? So you guys saw that. And well, I'm sure you guys all picked up the news on Cesar Montano, who we thank, as well as Senator Paul this morning. And we'll also be having a group of vloggers coming by. I think that'll be this weekend.
October 20.
Right, that's this weekend, diba? Friday. Diba, ka-grupo ni Direct Daryl yata? Is he coming also? Okay. So I think Direct Daryl Yap of the notorious MIM is organized a group of vloggers to come visit Ilocos Norte. So they'll be coming. I think they said 75 though. I'm not sure kung tuloy lahat. Also, we have the regional convention of the city and municipal agricultural officers. Diba? Duman po ako sa kanila. So we have the whole region 1. All the city and municipal agriculture officers, diba? Are all here. So we thank them for coming. And of course the PCL was successfully hosted. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully a less rainy Christmas season in Ilocos. And of course with this budget, many more things to do next year, including completing the Big 3, among other things. We also inspected and amended the plans for the 3rd bridge. I think it was on the agenda for today. That is called the San Nicolas Lawag or Lawag San Nicolas? Lawag San Nicolas Bypass Road, which will be on this side of Gilbert Bridge, eastern side naman, since yung isa nasa west. So, yeah, just want to remind everyone, ingat, na mag-ingat tayo, with these typhoons. You can never be over-prepared or over-cautious. So, simple things around the home can really help. I think that's it. Just want to thank everyone for joining today. And if anyone siguro pwede rin mag-request, yung mga tao, kahit sa Agri Hotline or sa C or MSWDO, if they need food packs, kung may mga unserved pa. But I'm in touch with the mayors to make sure that everyone who has been affected will be served or will be assisted. Okay, thanks guys. Maraming salamat. Magandang hapon.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon.